Welcome to the Powerlifting and Power Ballads podcast, where we bring you a weekly dose of powerlifting news, tips, and training advice with a touch of 80s rock ballads. This podcast is presented by Team Roar Powerlifting, your source of the most comprehensive coaching and meet day preparation. Here are your hosts, Josh Rohr and Laura Sturm.
Welcome to episode 192. How are you, Josh Rohr?
I am all right. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. It's 2025 and we still don't have flying cars. I'm mad.
Or do we? There's been a lot of drone sightings. I think those are flying cars.
It's probably, they're really big, so they might as well be, right? Yeah.
I think drones is just the cover.
That whole thing's crazy. Like, yes, there's drones. We acknowledge that there's drones. We don't know what they are, though.
Yeah.
Like what?
I don't know.
Yeah. Crazy things in the news.
Yeah. So, speaking of newsworthy, just a reminder that Quest is doing that 3-month membership deal. So, through January 31st, you can buy 3 months membership and get 3 months for free. So, if you're looking for a new gym or if you're looking for the best gym, go to Quest.
Ooh, nice
in
plug.
Duluth. Yeah, not bad, huh?
Old school,
but has everything you could possibly want.
Oh, and more. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
I gotta say. And you know what I hate is like gym, rushes. You will avoid the gym rush at Quest.
That's true, because there's like 10 members.
No one knows about it. And
no one knows about it. It's a great gym. And
it's a weird location. But that's probably because,
it's like
in the reason why.
Yeah, it's right behind Duluth High School, like right at the end of this real small residential street. So like, it's funny because I've had people coming for like a consult before or just like a drop-in session, and they'll like stop halfway up that hill and call me like, "Hey, I'm in the wrong spot. I'm on a small road with a bunch of houses." I'm like, "Oh yeah, just keep driving. You'll
just wait for it. It's right there in front of you.
It'll pop up over the hill here in any second."
Yeah. Yeah, it is an odd place, but
the actual gym, when you do get to it, it looks like a little shack, like from the road. But what you don't realize is like that's just the little front area that's against the road. But there's like this massive building back behind. Like the gym itself.
That way.
The gym itself is actually, I don't know, like an eighth of the whole building, because it's like the flag manufacturing plant's in the back. So like the 11,000 square foot gym is like this tiny little subsection of the overall building. And what you see from the road is like, I don't know, a little, it appears to be like a 10 by 10 shack. That's almost what it looks like.
It does, which is really strange too. Because like you look at the building from the outside and you're like, oh, this is going to be a little tiny gym. And then you walk in, you're like, did I just go into some kind of weird portal?
Yeah. Because there's no way to see, because it's like all woods around the other side. So like you have no idea that it's back there. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I like it.
Yeah, right. It's the best kept secret.
Yep. So on that note, Wade and I are both taking new clients as of January 1. So if anybody's interested in upping their powerlifting game, hit us up and we can chat, see if we're a good fit.
2025, time to do new things.
Yep. New things, 2025. That's a good slogan.
Yes, let's do new things. Yeah, I'm so eloquent.
Yep. Let's see, what else have we not been caught up on? The pro finals happened almost a month ago now. We're just not doing an episode.
Right? Yeah, San Antonio. That was fun.
Yeah. You were there. What were your thoughts?
It was a good meet. I was kind of surprised at how small it felt for the Pro Series. And I was surprised at how small Raw was in comparison to Equipped, which was weird. Like that never happens. But I thought it was good. the warm-up room was really nice, and it was like one of those rare meets where it didn't feel like a cluster in the warm-up room.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times it becomes a cluster, and it, as a lifter, it always would fluster me. And I was like, "Ooh, this is nice."
I think they had what, six racks to warm up on
Yeah,
with
they
full
had,
kilo sets.
yeah, with full kilo sets and nice bars, and it was a nice setup. It was nice to see Texas Strength Systems because I've always wondered what the gym looked like. So that was just kind of cool and interesting. And I mean, there was some great lifting that
Yeah,
happened.
it
And
was.
I've never seen anyone sprain their ankle during a squat, and I hope to never see that again.
We'll leave it to one of ours to do that.
Oh, that's just, oh man, that sucks. So what were your thoughts?
I thought it was good. We our lifters as a whole, I don't think had their best days. But we had a lot of people banged up coming in. Like we had a smashed toe, we had a nagging hip, we had a shoulder, we had a sprained ankle that happened at the meet. We had it was just going
Yeah,
down the list. So I think everybody did pretty good based on especially with everything, all the circumstances coming in. I guess we can just kind of go down through how everybody did. So Lee lifted 3 different times. She lifted in the Masters Raw final on Saturday, and she went 8 for 9 and just missed the open world record bench of 129.5 kilos. We kind of went conservative on squat and deadlift, again, because she had to compete 2 more times. So that was kind of just our goal there, was just to kind of do enough to secure second, because without going all out, there's no way we could, hang with Shelly. So we just kind of did what we thought we had to do to secure second, which she did. Got second and won $1,500 for that. And then Sunday morning, she did the open and masters equipped bench, but in 2 divisions. So she only lifted once. She went 2 for 3. She hit 175 kilos. Her PR was 182.5. But she was in the masters. She got first and won $500. I mean, in the open, she got second and won 1,000. The goal was to put on whatever we needed to win the open, which we did. So we jumped from 175. We had, I think, 180 turned in for her third, but then Natalie made a big third attempt, which made us have to jump up to 191 for an open world record. And honestly, coming out of the rack and the way she held it, I thought she was going to get it. But I think she just got a little bit off on the descent. Like it was not right by the time it got to her chest, but that's definitely, I think, unfinished business at that weight. So she ended up second in that. And then Sunday morning, Katie, Lee, Amy, and Laura all lifted. Katie was in the open and masters, and Katie was dealing with a hip issue coming in. She ended up going 7 for 9. She had a 5 kilo PR bench and a 2.5 kilo PR deadlift. But it took her 3 attempts to get a squat in. She was high on the first. Well, she got called high on all 3. She was high on 1 and 2. The third one she got there, went to the jury and got it overturned. So she ended up 4th in the masters and 5th in the open. So she had, we had a lot left over in the squat. I mean, it was, we probably could have even opened a little higher than that, and that might have helped with depth, but because of the hip issue, I was a little hesitant to do too much. And, obviously when you can't go down once you attempt something. So we wanted to make sure that it was
right.
something she could do easily. And all 3 attempts looked super easy. So, should we have gone up? Maybe, I don't know, but it is what it is.
Right.
Then on the master's side, Lee lifted again. She went 7 for 9. She went 230 in the squat, which was a world record, 167.5 on the bench, 185 in the deadlift. Ended up with a 555 age dots. So she got first there, won 3,000. Laura went 7 for 9. She went 170, 125, 190 for a 532 dots and got second in the masters and won 1,500. And then Amy went 5 for 9. She squatted 165, benched 85 kilos, and then pulled a PR 175 kilo deadlift. She got 5th in the masters. It's crazy because she pulled a PR deadlift with a sprained ankle, but she couldn't bench with the sprained ankle. So we had to lower her bench way down, and she ended up only getting 1 bench. And that was well under what we were going to open with. So
Yeah.
It's kind of, you take that's why you show up, I guess, right? On paper, oh, I can do
Right.
these numbers, but that's why we show up. So,
Right.
but no, I'm proud of everybody. I think they did really good. It was interesting, having four of the lifters in the same flight. It was kind of chaotic. Mike
Mm.
Haffenbrack and his crew from Sam Houston were clutch because, they kind of helped keep everything running along with you and Cindy. Oh yeah, surprise! Cindy came down from Wisconsin. We
Mm.
didn't really tell anybody that ahead of time because she trains with Lee online, so we wanted it to be a little bit of a surprise.
Oh, I didn't realize it was a surprise.
Yeah,
Cool.
so it was pretty
Nice.
cool.
I loved the fact that there was cash. Like, yes. I'm so glad that that was the thing. At least, for this year, hopefully it continues to be. But that was cool. Because how many times have, big meets like that gone by, and, it's cool to get a gold medal and all that, but cash speaks.
Yeah, money talks.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a Neil Diamond song. Money talks. It can't
Yes.
sing and dance, but wait,
Yeah.
it
Don't
can't
don't.
sing.
don't.
Whatever. Anyway, great song. So weird pivot. My high school English teacher, who was also my first lifting coach, he loves Neil Diamond. So like every time he was doing a heavy squat, he would like put on like Forever in Blue Jeans or something like that from Neil
Oh, that's
Diamond and
awesome.
just crank it. And everybody was
Wow.
so scared of him. Nobody said shit about it because he's just this big dude that's like
Mm.
always pretty even keel, but like you don't piss him off. Like nobody ever
Mm.
did, but it's just one of those things.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm scared of the guy who loves Neil Diamond that much.
that's squatting 4 plates for reps at age 65.
Wow.
Anyway,
Yeah.
let's
And
see.
and we met both of our listeners.
We did, and a
Uh,
new one. Were you
really?
there?
We have three?
We have three now. Were you there? I don't know. We were coming out, and I didn't catch the lady's name, but she came out and said,
Oh.
"Hey, I just want to let you know I really enjoy your podcast." I'm like, "Who told you to say that?" That was my first my first thought in my head.
Yeah, I mean, that was cool to actually, and I didn't recognize Shelley. That was my bad.
Yeah.
Duh. Um, yeah, so to know that people actually listen to us, at least three of them,
Right.
that's three more than I thought. So
Yeah. Hey.
there you go.
Yeah. There we go. Um, let's see other news. So executive committee. I have officially resigned from the executive committee as of Sunday the 6th.
I did not know this.
Yeah. So I guess I want to make sure that the reason is clear so that there's no speculation. What it comes down to is I want to spend more time with my daughters. So there's a lot of work and a lot of time that goes into being on the EC. I thoroughly like that. Like I put that in high regard. Like I would like to still be part of that, but I think just objectively speaking, I'm not able to give as much of my time as is required. And I think that it was because of that, because I want to spend more time with my family, and I wasn't able to recently to spend as much time as the position kind of needed. I just felt it was everybody's best interest that I stepped down. So I did, and everybody on the EC was receptive and supportive of that decision, and I appreciate that. And I'm I wrestled with that for a while, like if that was the right decision or not, because and part of me felt bad and wrong because like I was elected to a 3-year term and I'm not fulfilling my commitment to that. But I think whoever ends up taking my spot there, it's going to be better because they're going to be doing it and have more availability. That's kind of breaking news, and I just want to make sure that it's not for any other reason than I just want to spend more time with the family.
Yeah. So you're not like, they're stupid, I'm leaving.
Yeah, I assume that that's going to be some people's thoughts is like, oh, he's fed up with it. He's stepping down to but that's not the case. Like I would love to be able to still do it. But just objectively, I'm not able to do it to the capacity that's required of the job. So
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the right thing to do if you feel.
yeah, I think so.
mean,
I mean, I feel
too
good about
small.
it. Like, I mean, I'm
It
still,
is.
yeah, and I'm still going to be involved. Like, obviously, I'm still going to be at the meets coaching, still be refereeing when I'm at the meets and have a free session, and I'm still, chair of the coaching committee and still going to do the seminars and stuff like that. So I'm still very much involved. It's just I need to step back on some of the things, and I think the leadership at the highest level, they need to be able to, you know, make that a priority. And when I can't make that a priority, I don't think I need to be there anymore.
Well, and it's such a time suck, I would think.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a drastic time suck, but I mean, there's things like, Zoom meetings, at night sometimes, and like that's when I'm trying to put kids to bed. So like, I'm not able to do that, and then I'm, Hope's got to deal with both of them, and then just like the day to day, emails back and forth, and some of those things, and sometimes if there's something specific to what I've been working on, like I might spend the entire day working on it to have it ready to go back to the rest of the EC. It's just like those are things that just I can't afford that time anymore. So
Yeah.
I felt it's best to let somebody else pick up the reins and run with it.
They're only little ones.
Yep. That's the other thing. Like a lot of my friends are, that I went to college with and even high school, they have older kids. We had kids late, right? I'm 40, I'll be 42 in a couple weeks. So, a lot of them are, making comments like, yeah, I missed I missed when they were little. I wish I could go back and, relive this day or whatever. And I'm just like, yeah, I don't want to miss out on that. Like,
Yeah.
so.
Yep. You'll still miss it once they're all grown up.
Yeah, I'm sure. So I just want to experience it and be available as much as I can.
Fully present.
Fully present.
Yeah, I like it. All right. Well, let's move on to the powerlifting situation. Bum, bum, bum. So here it is. You have friends that you want to go out with on New Year's Eve, but you also have your regular training partners that are planning to train at 6 a.m. on New Year's Day, which is your normal training time. What do you do?
Yeah. So this was actually posted obviously before New Year's. We just haven't done an episode and I didn't do any new ones, but yeah, I don't know. I think it depends on if you have a competition coming up, things like that. But I think in general, I'm going out. I don't have to drink, right? Like that. I think this implies that you're going to go out and get blasted. Well, that doesn't say that anywhere in this. Like you can go out, have a good time, and not drink, not be stupid. Come in tired maybe, but I think it's doable. You can do both.
6 a.m. though, man.
Yeah, that's early. Well, you just go all night. Just don't go to bed. Just go straight.
Just don't go to bed.
Straight from the
that won't
party
affect
to
your
the
training at all.
No. Just more
Just
caffeine.
go light that day.
Yeah.
Get some pre-workout. This is when you start snorting the pre-workout. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's normal. Yeah.
Disclaimer, don't snort pre-workout.
Don't. We actually looked it up. It's not really good for you. It doesn't actually get it into your system any faster, and it can damage your nasal cavities.
Nobody was more shocked than me that it's not really effective. Because when I did it, it sure seemed like it worked.
Excuse me. Yeah.
Oh man.
Then we have some new lifter tips on how to warm up.
Yeah, this was a question we had. People wanted us to kind of go through how we would do that. So obviously, again, disclaimer, everybody's a little bit different. But I think where a lot of people go wrong with warm-ups, like even in training at the gym, these concepts kind of apply whether it's for training or competition. So in general, you want to do your warm-ups with like what I would say warming up, like getting your muscles warm and getting blood flow with light weights. And then you can do like singles with heavier weights to get acclimated to the weight. So you're not actually doing a workout prior to your workout or prior to your opening attempt. So as an example, let's say let's just say it's a meet and you're opening with 100 kilos on your squat. How I would write warm-ups for one of my lifters is, have them do the bar for 5 to 10. And then I would actually have them do the bar for a second set of, 5 to 10 again. So that, we literally have gotten 2 sets in with literally an empty bar, but that's getting blood flow to the muscles without it causing any actual accumulated fatigue to the body. And then from there, we'd do like 45 kilos for 5, and that would be our last set of reps. So 45 kilos is, 45% of your opener. So, after that, we would jump to 60 and maybe do a double, then do 80 for a single, 90 for a single, and then jump to 100 for the opener. So I think a lot of people also would look at that and be like, well, how do you know that you're going to be able to do your opener if you only do 90 on your last one? Well, your opener should be something that you can do regardless. You shouldn't have to prove it to yourself in the warm-ups. And I think that's where a lot of people go wrong is, they're gonna do like 97 and a half, or even actually do their opener in a warm-up to make sure they can do it. Well, that's extra stress and extra fatigue that you don't need, because that's going to then show up on your second, third attempt and even down the road in bench and deadlift. So, that's kind of my template there is, we do our warm-ups. Essentially our first 3 sets are the quote unquote warm-ups, the 2 sets at the bar and the 1 set at 45 kilos. Those are the warm-up sets. And then the 60, the 80 and the 90 are the get acclimated to the weight sets. And again, with the 60, we're just doing a double. 80, we're only doing 1. 90, we're doing 1. Then we're opening with 100 at 1. And if you notice, the last 2 warm-ups are 10 kilo jumps, and then the warm-up to the opener is a 10 kilo jump. And then the assumption there is that the opener to the second is going to also be a 10 kilo jump. So that's kind of how I space the warm-ups. So if you plan on doing let's say your opener is 50 kilos, your second might be 55. So then in that case, my last warm-up would be 45 kilos, 5 kilos. So it's the same incremental jumps. Again, there's room to wiggle with that. I guess that would be called wiggle room. There's wiggle room with that based on individuality, but or preferences, but that's kind of how I would do it. Now, and same kind of concept for the bench. The only one where I actually go a little different would be the deadlift. And that's because theoretically you're already warmed up from squatting and benching, assuming you're in a pretty quick meet, like 2 flights, 1 or 2 flights. If you're in 3 flights, you might need to add a few more warm-ups back in. But, assuming you're in 2 flights, just as an example, if you have somebody that has a 250 kilo opener, my deadlift warm-ups, I'm only taking 4. I would do 75 kilos for 3. From there, I would jump to 125 kilos, do a double, then 175 kilos, do a single, 225 kilos, do a single, and then open at 250. So it's a 225 kilo jump from my last warm up to my opener. And that seems like a lot, but percentage wise, it's not crazy. And it's also like, you're already pretty warmed up. Those are just to get acclimated to the weight. And you're probably already getting a little fatigue setting in from squatting and benching. So like minimizing the amount of work you actually do is kind of key there.
Yep.
So that's how I would do it. That's just a couple examples. Hopefully that helps and kind of puts it in perspective. Like we're not trying to get a workout in, because where I see a lot of people go wrong with this is they'll do, even if they use the same numbers that I have, like on squat, they might do the bar for 5, then they'll do 45 kilos for 5, 60 kilos for 5, 80 kilos for 3, 90 kilos for 2, then they'll go like 95 kilos for 1 as their last warm up, and then open at 100. Well, that's a whole workout you just did, right? With weight that's actually going to cause fatigue before you even do your opener, and there's no point to that.
Right.
So I always tell people too, like if after the first 3 sets you don't feel like you're warmed up yet, then just do another set at 45 kilos. Like, you don't need to go up and do reps with heavier weight to accumulate fatigue. You just need to, if you're not feeling warmed up, stay at 45 and add another set in and do another set of 5 at 45 kilos with weight that's not going to cause fatigue.
So at what point do you know if you're maybe not feeling it that day or something's a little off? At what point do you adjust openers?
Usually after the last warm up. So we, and if timing wise, like we're not able to do that, we can base it off of the second to last warm up, but I try to have everybody done with enough time to go change, just in case. That it's a rare thing that we need to. Because like I said, I usually try to have everybody open with something that even if they're off, they're still good for it. But yeah, that last warm up is usually the indicator of how the rest of the day is going to go.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Good talk.
Yeah. For sure. Yeah, I've got nothing more than that.
Yep. Me either. So happy New Year. And all that stuff.
Yeah. And avoid the gym crunch. Stay consistent. And keep doing things.
Cool. All right. Well, awkward goodbye.
Yes. Bye now.
Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed today's episode of the Powerlifting and Power Ballads podcast, please remember to subscribe and share it with your friends.